Hello everyone. Today in this session, we are going to say about Animal Kingdom, that is chapter 4 of Unit 1 in Diversity in Living Organisms, given in 11th standard biology book. There are different criteria considered for the classification of Animal Kingdom. The major categories are discussed as follows. First one is level of organization of animals, that is whether they have cellular organization, tissue level of organization, organ level or organ system level. Lower organisms like sponges show cellular organization, while in coelenterate the cellular arrangement is more complex when compared to the cellular organization level, and they show tissue level of organization. Under organ level of organization, we have platyhelminthes, and under organ system level of organization, we have chordates and echinoderms. Based on digestive system, we have two categories: open digestive system, that is a complete digestive system, and incomplete digestive system. In incomplete digestive system, there is only one opening which serves as mouth as well as anus. Under complete digestive system, we have separate openings. Circulatory system, we have open and closed systems. In open system, the blood is pumped out of the heart, and all the cells are bathed in it. While in closed circulatory system, once the blood is pumped out of the heart, we have a special mechanism to supply blood to each and every cell. Then symmetry. What is symmetry? That is, we can cut the organism through its center into two equal halves through any plane. There are three types: bilateral, radial, and asymmetry. In bilateral symmetry, the organism can be cut into two equal halves, example arthropods. In radial symmetry, it can be cut into many equal halves, example echinoderms. That is, through many planes, it can be cut into two equal halves. In asymmetry, there is no single plane exists from where an organism can be cut through its center into two equal halves. Example, sponges. Next, diploblastic and triploblastic character. When the developing embryo has only two layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm, it is called diploblastic animal. An undifferentiated layer called mesoglia also exists in these organisms. Example, coelenterate. In triploblastic animals, there are three layers: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Uh, Major example from platyhelminthes to chordates. Next, coelom. Coelom is the cavity lying between the body wall and gut wall. Based on the presence or absence of coelom, we have three types. Under coelomates, those organisms that have true coelom or cavity. Example, annelids, mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, and chordates. In pseudocoelomates, there is a coelom but not a continuous cavity. We have here and there. Example, Ascalminthus. In acoelomates, there is no coelom at all. Example, Platyhelminthes. Next one is segmentation. The body is externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetition of at least some organs. Example, earthworm. And they show metamerism, that is, they have many segments. Next one is notochord. Notochord is nothing but it's like a backbone. Based on the presence or absence of notochord, we have two types: chordates and non-chordates. Now let us move into different phylums. First one is phylum Porifera. They are commonly called sponges. They are marine and asymmetrical. They have cellular level of organization and they are hermaphrodites. That is, eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. They reproduce asexually and sexually. Fragmentation is the method adapted here. What is fragmentation? We have seen in previous classes also. That is when a single part of the organism is cut, and this small fragment can develop into a complete individual. Next one is phylum Coelenterata. They are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming, radially symmetrical. Example, coral, hydra, and jellyfish. Next phylum is Ctenophora. They are marine and they show radial symmetry, tissue level of organization, and diploblastic. They are commonly called sea walnuts and or comb jellies. Sea walnuts are comb jellies. They show bioluminescence. We all know luminescence is the property of an object to emit light. Bioluminescence in the sense this biological organism emits light. There are also hermaphrodites. Example, Ctenoplana. Next phylum is Platyhelminthes. They are commonly called flatworms and they are endoparasites. That is, they live inside the organism. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, acoelomate, and they show organ level of organization. They are also hermaphrodites. Planaria of this group show high level of regeneration. That is, regeneration is the capacity of an organism to develop its lost parts. Example, tapeworm, liver fluke. Next one is Ascalminthus. They are commonly called as roundworms. They show organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomates. They are dioecious, that is, male and female are distinct. Example, Ascaris, filaria worm, and hookworm. Next one is phylum Annelida. They are aquatic or terrestrial. They show organ level of organization, bilateral symmetry, triploblastic, and metamorphical segmental. And they are coelomates. Longitudinal and circular muscles help in their locomotion. They have closed circulatory system and they are dioecious, that is, male and female are distinct. Example, Nereis. Few organisms are monoecious. Example, earthworm, leech, and they show sexual reproduction. Next one is phylum Arthropoda. They are the largest of phylum. These are the largest phylum of Animalia. They show organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic. They are segmented and coelomate animals. They are mostly dioecious and mostly oviparous. Now let us see few examples of arthropods. The most economically important varieties are honeybee, silkworm, and lac insect. Vectors that carry disease-causing organisms are Anopheles and Aedes of mosquitoes. And we will be dealing with these vectors and disease-causing organisms in later classes. And living fossil is king crab. And gregarious pest is locust. You all know locust if you are following news nowadays. Locust, desert locust has invaded many northern states. Next one is phylum Mollusca. They are the second largest of kingdom Animalia, and they have organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomates. They are dioecious and oviparous. Example, snail, real oyster, cuttlefish, and sea hare. Next one is phylum Echinodermata. They are marine and they have organ system level of organization. Adults are radially symmetrical and larvae is bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic coelomates. They have water vascular system. These are the special feature present in echinoderms and they help in their locomotion. Example, starfish, sea lily, sea cucumber, and brittle star. Echinoderms have spines in their body. And one thing to note here is sea lily and sea cucumber are not plant varieties and they are animals. Next one is phylum Hemichordata. Phylum Hemichordata has been placed under phylum Chordata as a subphylum and now it is moved into a separate phylum. Worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization, and these organisms show bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic and coelomates. They have open circulatory system. Example, Ballonoglossus and Saccoglossus. Next one is phylum Chordata. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomates with organ system level of organization, and they have closed circulatory system. Chordates are classified into three categories. Urochordata are tunicata, second one is cephalochordata, and third one is vertebrata. Urochordates and cephalochordates are commonly called as protochordates. And vertebrata is classified based on the jaw, whether it is present or absent, into agnatha and gnathostomata. Under agnatha, that is which lacks jaw, we have class cyclostomata. And under those organisms that bears jaw, we have two categories. Pisces, under Pisces we have fishes. Under Tetrapoda we have all other animals. Tetrapods are classified into amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammals. We all know amphibians live both in water as well as land. We all example is frog, and next comes reptiles. The major example of reptiles or lizards, crocodiles, and snakes. Aves are nothing but birds, and even aves have four legs, but four limbs are classified into, or sorry, four limbs are modified into wings, and we see only two limbs, that is hind limbs now. Under evolution, we will be dealing with this in detail. And mammals, we all know mammals give birth to young ones and feed them. Hope this one is useful to you.